What is up, everybody? It's Saints fan, and today I'm going to be doing a video that everybody has been wanting to know, and this is going to be a guide for stealing the tank, and you steal it without any stars on you from the military base. This is absolutely crazy, guys, so put on your seatbelts and let's get started. Now, before I get into the how-to of getting this tank, we're going to go over some requirements. So what you're going to need is the minimum of 3 people. I prefer having about 5 or 6. I think we actually had 5 in our game, but 3, it can work with 3. I'll get more into that in a second. The second thing you're going to need is a Cargobob. If you don't know what Cargobob, I made a video on it a couple days ago, but basically it is the transport heli, the one that you can actually pick up cars, and I think you have to be around level 20 to actually get it to spawn. If not, you can try to steal one from the military base. It is really difficult, but just know you're going to need a Cargobob. And then number 3, one person is going to need a lot of ammo and a pretty good amount of body armor. And I'll get more into why one person needs that in a second. And then the last thing that you actually need is a vehicle. Now, if you're doing this with just 3 people, like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. It is a lot more difficult, but you can do it. So if you're going to do it with 3, one person, like I said, is going to have the armor and the ammo and the guns. One person is going to be in a Cargobob, and the other person is going to be in a vehicle. Now, the reason I recommend 5 or 6 people is because you can actually have multiple people doing the same job. So all you need is one driver, one person actually to go into the military base, which I'll get to in a second. But I would recommend having 2 of the guys with the guns, because if somebody dies, and I'll get to this more in detail, then you're kind of screwed. And then I also recommend having more than one Cargobob. We had 3 because 2 actually went down when we were trying to pull this off. So moving into step 1, the person with the car is going to come to the south end and go up here on the mountain. And basically all you're going to do is drive straight into the military base. And you might want to line this up a little bit beforehand, but you want to get right where I'm at. And I noticed that once you're sort of closer towards the fence and the military don't see you, you actually don't get stars. As you see, I'm just running around and I don't have stars on. So this person is basically done until the tank shows up, but I'll get more into that later. So right now for this person, he just wants to sit in his car or just stand here, whatever, and wait for the other guys to do their jobs. So moving on to step 2, you want to have player 2, or like I said, multiple players. It's easier with more people, but you want them to come to this little place where I'm at. As you see, my friend gets in the base, and now it's our job to do what we have to do. Now in this little room to the right of me, there should be a guy. Sometimes there's not, and if there's not, you're going to have to find a way to get stars on you. Now luckily for me, like I said, there's a guy in here, so I'm just going to walk in here, pop him, and then I'm going to get 3 stars on me. Now 3 stars usually works. If you want to get more to make sure the tank actually does come down the road, then go for it, but 3, like I said, usually works. Now basically all you want to do, and the reason why you're going to need a lot of ammo and a lot of guns, or really good guns, and a lot of armor, or some decent armor, is because you're going to have a lot of guys shooting at you. So when the military actually starts coming, they'll ram into the fence. They can't go through it because, like I said, it is closed, but they can shoot through it, and some will come down this road. So it gets kind of tricky, because if you do hide in that room, some of the guys from behind you will wind up shooting through the door since the door is open. So that's why I say if you have more than one person here, it works better, because if this guy dies, then the tank won't actually come down the hill and you can't get it. So that's why this guy is sort of the most important guy that's part of this plan. Now when he starts shooting, you'll see right here, there's a bunch of different military guys, and they don't notice me, and they're not even going to notice me when I walk through them. So I guess there's a certain limit in the military base where you can go, and the military guys won't actually start attacking you. Now, as you see, my guy actually dies, but we got lucky, and a tank did roll down the hill, and I got to take it. Now, before we get into the tank part, step 3 is you want the Cargobob guy to be just waiting around and waiting for you to actually get in the tank. Now, like I said, more than one is always good, because I accidentally blew up one person. I think we had another guy flying to the fence. So the third guy, and thank God we had him, he could actually get me out of the base. Now, as you see, the plan worked perfectly, and the tank is rolling down the hill. Now, we did notice sometimes that the tank does not roll down the hill, and you may just need to try it again, or maybe get somebody else to go back in there and sort of lure the tank down the hill. Now, basically from here, this is the easy part. The guy that's in the car, he just needs to walk to the tank. As you see, these guys, the military guys, don't even bother. Walk casually through them, get on the tank. I hit Y, the guy's going to go right around, hop in, and they're not even going to notice me until I get inside the actual tank. As you see, I'm inside of it. Now they're going to get me. Now this is where things got a little bit tricky, because right here, we had the guy try to hook us, and it does take a little bit of time to hook the tank. And as you see, there's fences here, so it is a little bit tricky here We wound up actually moving to the helicopter pads, which is a lot easier. But if you can get out right here, I just suggest it, because then sometimes you may have to deal with other tanks inside the military base and other people shooting at you, and it just gets a little bit more complicated. So if you can get out right here, I would recommend it, but it is a little bit more difficult because there's the fences and stuff. As you see right here, I'm also going to shoot my helicopter, the first one, so we're going to need to unfortunately call in the secondary, which will actually get caught on the fence and he'll wind up going down. So like I said, the third one does save us, and that's the one thing you don't want to do is get stuck in here with the tank, because then it's going to be crazy, because you got other tanks shooting at you, you got the military shooting at you, they may even get jets shooting at you. I don't know what they're going to release after you, so you do want to make sure you have enough Cargobob so you do get out. As you see right here, this guy, new pilot, he is going to hit the fence, and now he's gone. So I figured, I'm like, alright, so what's the plan? That tank fell off a freaking roof. So I decided to go to the actual helicopter pad. I was like, alright, listen, that's an open spot. It's easy enough. The tanks don't really go over there. There's sometimes some military guys, you know, in the cars, but I can kill them and we can get out here alive. So that's actually what happens. And that is pretty much it, guys. It's really, really easy. And then once you're done, guys, you have a tank. You can go on a rampage, do whatever you want. But the one thing that does kind of suck, and I did try it, is you can't store this in your garage. So unfortunately, you're only going to have it until it does blow up, because these tanks do eventually blow up. I don't know how many bullets or whatever it takes, but like I said, they will blow up. So if that does happen, unfortunately, you're going to have to do this all over again, but this is pretty simple, and we keep doing it, and we keep getting tanks. So once you do it enough times, you'll actually master it, and you're good. A couple other little things to know. Once you're hooked with a Cargobob, you can't actually aim where you're shooting at. I don't know, I haven't really figured it out, but you can only shoot in one direction, and it's not even the one you're aiming in, so it's kind of weird, but it is still really fun to go mess around with. If you get multiple of these, you're going to have like tank wars. I don't know. There's a bunch of different opportunities and possibilities that I'm sure you guys, you know, you'll come up with. And if you want to be like me, and I actually put a video on this a couple days ago, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's probably the greatest 5-star evade at this moment in time, because what we actually did, I got in the tank, we went on a tear, got 5 stars, was killing everybody. We had some adversity we went through, we had some Cargobobs going down, it was crazy, and then the Cargobob wound up picking me up and he flew me out, and we wound up evading the cops. It was absolutely awesome. So go check out that video, I'll probably link it in the description. So I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial. Now you can go mess around with tanks instead of being level 70 and paying $1.5 million for it. We were trying to do some tank wars in the sky. We actually went sledding down Mount Chiliad in the tank. It was absolutely crazy, guys. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to do with your tank when you do this? But this is really fun, especially since heists aren't here. This is sort of a mini heist. You can do this with your team, sort of prepare for the heist, get your teamwork going, get everything good. And this is, honestly, guys, when you steal a tank, it just feels awesome, because you just robbed that military base of their freaking tank. So it is so rewarding. Hope you guys did enjoy. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you want to see some more awesome content. As always, it's your boy Saints. I'm out. Peace.